Hello, and welcome to Shore Shack Adventures. This week will be an extraordinary one, full of roleplay, fun, and good old drinking. So before we start, let's go around the table, because here at Shore Shack Adventures, we give inspiration for somebody who's drinking the most relevant drink to the campaign. And your DM, with a hint of the future, Starborough wine. So, Bearman, what are you drinking over there?
Rum and like a blue raspberry mixture.
Hey.
Rum is always a good place to go in this campaign.
Yeah.
Rum and raspberries.
Chochi Chatu, what beverage are you consuming?
I just finished a glass of what was called Tall Tales IPA.
Tall Tales.
Tall Tales.
That is very relevant.
Xander, Rednacks.
Water.
There is a lot of water on this island.
But not salt water.
And it depends which direction you pull if you're going to potentially be in it. Sparkmaster.
I also have unsalted water.
That's a pretty fancy glass, though.
It's a growler from a beer place that I use as a water jug. I can pretend I'm drinking beer.
I thought you were going to try to pass rum off as unsalted water, then I was going to instant inspiration. Super.
That's third week in a row.
I don't have a drink on me. I don't drink during the week anymore.
Well, I guess we all grow up someday. Cheers to Tall Tales.
Gotta be.
Tall Tales wins it this time, depending on which way you go, of course. But my God, where were we this last week? Ugh!
Last time on Shore Shack Adventures, an escape plan was hatched to free Sho Tutatu from his prison cell. Xander, Sparkmaster, and Soomper all proceeded ahead to find the place that Soomper had tracked them down to the previous night. While Xander and Sparkmaster distracted the front for this prison, Soomper was able to go in disguised as a beetle and make his way down to the lower level where Sho was being held. Meanwhile, Sho made a new friend in Bearman. We don't really know his name, but we do know that he's rough and tough and kind of gruff and good in a fight. Sho had managed to step himself out of his cell magically. However, the guards had already been alerted and had run down and into the fray with him. He tried to sneak out, however, he was found, and a fight thus ensued, with Bearman free and Sho and Tutatu against 3 guards. It seemed like the odds were not completely in their favor. Then arrived Soomper. One of the guards began to flee and ran back up to try to get out to call for more help. However, when he reached the upper room, he found Xander and Sparkmaster in this shop, waiting, trying to get through this door. The guard, very cooperatively, escorted Xander and Sparkmaster as far as he could before he became a little too obnoxious, and Sparkmaster decided to make it so that he could no longer identify them by sight. And then Xander made sure that he could no longer breathe to tell who they were. With the battle in hand and new friends made, they decided to quickly search the remainder of the cells to see who else might still be down here. They discovered Aster, one of the wizards who had befriended Soomper, locked away in a cage. Freeing him and taking them with them, they proceeded back up and out into the street. Where guards were coming down one alley, the new friend Bearman took off directly towards them and into a building, drawing them away from the rest of the party. Quickly going to Aster's house, They gathered supplies, gathered Conan, and gladly gathered Namina's body, and began to exit the city, as they feared they were now going to be hunted. Upon exit, the taxman on the bridge alerted an alarm that wanted criminals were trying to escape. Xander pushed him off the bridge, and they all began their trek southward to Shoreshack. Which direction will they go? There's numerous ones laid out before them. What direction will the party choose? On tonight's Adventures in Shoreshack.
Ah, yes, indeed. Now you are on a path. And last I remember, you walked a little bit off for a moment to take a breather. It's been a while since you've had a chance to do much of anything for yourselves. This may or may not be one of them, but we'll find that after the intro music to Shoreshack Adventures.
Sharpen my axe on my enemy's face.
Hello, Sonia, my love. Hey, where's that gold at?
What are we doing here, man?
Jesus, Jehoshaphat, where did this fucking hat come from? Come on, Conan. Let's go.
It feels good to be back.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Make surfboards with my bunyip.
Shall I play you a tune?
I don't even care about the gold anymore.
Welcome back. As you journey south, you keep your eyes on the sky as the last time you met a fellow jailmate took as a bird and flew out of the city. You've escaped, now as wanted men. Of all of Alabast, may no longer be grounds you can set foot. At the very least, you saw a wanted sign with Soomper's magnificent body, detailed pretty accurately. You imagine you're probably going to see signs similar to this for your entire party. You left some city guard types dead in a jail completely robbed, with criminals let free, or so they were called. Aster, you found at the very end, at your surprise, and let him free to come with you. Some skepticism of whether this was really Aster or not. After some conversation, you seem to gain your trust a bit. You break through out of the city, kicking the toll man into the ravine, the moat. And with the bells ringing behind you, head into the woods. You go south a few hours, trying to clear any immediate trail you might get, and tuck off into the woods quite a few paces away from the main trail that goes south to Shoreshack. You start setting up a permanent camp or a temporary camp, someplace to eat some grub, restore yourself, and have some communication amongst yourselves. This was a high-intensity moment. Poor Gertrude and her loincloths that she makes for nice people. Her shop was left, well, it wasn't much of a shop to begin with, if you know what I mean. Take a moment. Tell me how you set up your camp, whether it just be for a lunch or something a little further. This is the first bit of breath you can actually gather. Aster is with you, frail as can be, and has been assisted in moving by you guys some way, shape, or form. First thing, how does that look as you were carrying Aster? And then as you guys decide on how to do that, jump into some conversation.
First thing I do, can I cast Healing Hand, Cure Wounds? We're going to do a level 2 Cure Wounds on Aster.
All right.
I don't think we've done that yet, have we? So,
as you do, he grabs your hand as you're in the middle of casting it and says in his frail voice, "Are you sure?"
Am I sure that I want to heal you? Yeah, man.
He blinks really long, looks up at you, and says, "Thank you.
Of
Super,
course.
I knew you were a good seed."
That's a weird way to put it, but all right.
All right, so if we're going through the forest, I will try to take us in a direction that we don't leave a trail, and that we can pass with as little trace as possible.
How do you do that, Xander? This is your neck of the woods, but how do you do that?
We would trek across fallen logs as to not leave footprints, or through the actual water and not along a beach, on top of rocks, doing our best not to hit any branches or make depressions into the dirt.
Super, roll me a dexterity check.
Oh, right.
Super.
Ooh,
He's the clumsiest of all of us.
Yeah, this is 8.
So as you are walking, describe to me some haphazard fall that you make and how that goes about.
So I'm actually like balancing super well on like this log, like as we're kind of crossing like this kind of muddy river or more like a creek kind of area. And then I trip, and like as I'm falling, I like actually land with my hands like straight like in the mud. So you see like 2 super handprints, and then I kind of like use it to flip back onto the log. So it's almost like impressive, but I also leave like 2 really obvious handprints. And I don't think anything of it. I'm just like, oh, like, and I don't think to cover it up or anything. Like,
so you guys are incredibly stealthy this whole way. Xander is guiding you, almost like he knows this sort of a land, like the back of his hand. He calls out things that show you, even being somewhat of a sleight of hand expert, realize that he has sleight of hand, but on a grander scale, which is fascinating somewhat to you. And just as you're all watching him move and taking really quick strides, you turn around and see Soomper with just these big muddy hands dripping.
right. Like nobody saw me do it. I was like too embarrassed to say anything, and I didn't clean it up. Yeah. I'm just like, oh yeah, like what's up, guys?
Going for some predator coverage.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, I like it. I'm just rubbing it like like the eye thing.
Sunscreen.
Quick question, Mike. Am I with the party right now?
You are not.
Okay.
Oh, you're not? Where did he go? Hey, where'd
Roll
that
me a-
big guy go?
Your dead body is. Who's carrying Namina?
Oh, Namina. Got you.
I've got Namina.
And Bearman's not with you guys, right?
No.
Okay, cool. I just wanted
Where
to
did the
know.
bad man go?
Remember when we came out, he went to the right and towards the soldiers and into a building and led them
Right.
away from us.
All right, good Xander.
Classic.
Roll
bad
me a stealth check with advantage.
Stealth.
Bearman. Roll me a perception check with advantage.
20.
Mm. Nope.
You can just shoot me that, because that's going to be depending on what you get. Some different things could happen. Go ahead and describe me what your small camp looks like. Go ahead and start setting that up, gentlemen.
All right.
Alright.
Whenever we get to some place that's a good setup, that's where I'll ritual cast the dome. And Hopefully, we can get close to like a rocky hillside, and I can just color it gray. So we'll make it look like a rock.
Okay, you're able to set that up. It's a little bit smoother than any rock would necessarily be, but with a few limbs and things you can lean against it, it looks pretty good. You found yourself in a drier highland, kind of on a hill that gives you somewhat of a vantage point, though it's thicker woods between Alabasta and Shore Shack. You go eastward. You know that most people travel either by the trail, which is a little inland, or the beach. You're somewhere in between, knowing that there's really no reason to cross within here. But just in case, you do have a little bit of a vantage point, though it's thick brush and you can't see too much. There is a clearing and a break through the canopy, maybe about 50 yards from where you guys are setting up camp.
One of the
Show is
first things
checking
I do when I'm.
So we've
Go
been.
ahead, Joe.
Show's checking himself and realizes he's lost his ampliphone. And he asks, "Did somebody else have an ampliphone? I thought somebody else might have had one."
Did Xander have one?
No. I didn't take the ampliphone. You took the ampliphone. I took the elk call.
I thought that we had two ampliphones. Never mind. I think they made away with my ampliphone. Oh well.
We'll go back for it.
And we're not paying taxes when we do it.
Never again.
Never
Sure.
again.
Never again.
We're wanted anyway. Why pay the taxes now?
True.
We're like merry men out here in the forest.
Oh, merry man.
All right, so it's about an 8-hour trek, moving at normal pace to get to Shore Shack from Alabasta.
Yes,
On foot.
on foot.
Okay. But we're kind of being stealthy and going through the woods, so we're not really taking the direct path.
Yeah, the clearest path you could go that wouldn't be the trail would be the beach. Otherwise, it's thicket.
So, looking at roll 20, where would we be? Would we be between Alabasta and Andy and Greta's, kind of?
No, you're going south towards Shore Shack.
We're kind of like
Oh, we're
here,
going south. Excuse me. Got you. Okay.
kind of like in that area.
Yeah, I see where you're clicking.
Yeah.
Actually, I can.
Are we not trying to get to where the tree was planted? Up where we met? Because where we met Xander is up here.
Yeah, where you met Xander was up there. Each one of these squares is about 8 hours of travel.
Okay.
Right, so yeah, we'd be like right here.
So the
And
Julie's daughter is supposed to be over on the beach over here.
correct.
We are somewhere in this area, I believe. So we have the choice to go down the road and just get to Shore Shack, or travel the beach. Or go into the forest and look for this other druid.
Well, personally, I'm exhausted, so I would like
Or
to.
we just camp in the dome and wait 8 hours.
Yeah, I would like to rest as soon as possible. Unless
That way
there's
we
a
can
pressing
heal up
injury.
Aster.
Yeah, let's do
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Show,
do our
and then
best.
Aster. Yeah.
They've completely drained me of my mana. But I fear we're too close right now. They will find us. Whether by dogs or otherwise.
Can dogs smell inside the hut?
They could,
Well, they would probably be able to lead them
could
straight
probably trail
to
right
where
up
it's
to it.
located.
Not to criticize, but Xander, your hut looks rather obscure in woods like this. Even a dog would be able to tell this is not a rock if he's standing right next to it. Now, I do apologize for I'm not really going to be able to walk very fast, so this is more a recommendation, but I'm completely up to your will.
And he bows down.
All right. I have an idea. It might be stupid. It might be good. So let's head towards the beach.
That's so stupid. No. Yeah. I think
Why the beach,
So-
Xander?
I will do another healing hands on show or cure wounds rather. Let me see what I got you for, bud.
Hold on, wait.
Have a plan.
Don't worry about my health right now. Super, I appreciate that. I was more worried about my energy and ability to cast these spells.
I see. Okay.
But I agree, or I respect your advice, Aster. I suppose that might be a good idea to put more distance between us before we bed down.
You know, Sho, is your mana drained as well?
I guess so. I don't really have much experience with mana, but I certainly don't feel as if I could cast any powerful spell right now. I'm just exhausted.
He looks at you for an extended period of time.
Fair enough.
So how far do you think we are from the beach? I would guess, judging by the seagulls and the smell of the salt in the air, that we are about...
Well, at that pace that we're traveling, we'll be there probably just an hour and a half.
Let's make tracks for the beach.
Well,
No.
let's not make tracks because
Let's not leave tracks and go to the beach.
I like that idea.
So, who's been here the longest on Shore Shack?
Well,
Actually, I don't know.
well, he started as just a seed, and
So, well, actually,
I have.
you have.
Oh yeah, it'd be Aster. Yeah, you.
So, Aster, you've been here the longest. What about this time of day? What is the tide in?
Oh, well, that depends on the day.
Well, the day
Tides
of
don't-
today.
The tides don't exactly follow the sun. It's every 4 hours. Now, how long was I in prison?
Ooh. Well, didn't we meet you on the way up on your trek to Ironton?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, then you've been in prison at the most 4 days.
Well, carry the two. Yeah. I think by the time we get there, it would be low tide. What time is it now, Xander? I'm not good at the survival stuff.
Well, judging by the sun in the sky, it is. I'll tell you if I have any idea whatsoever. It is 22 o'clock. I just rolled a 22.
Okay, yes. I mean, it will be 4 p.m. by the time we get there. And I think low tide for sure.
All right. Let's make haste. And as we make haste and hastily make our way there, I'm going to be talking to Soomper. Say, okay, Soomper, when we get there, Soomper. Hey, Soomper. You there?
Hey.
Okay.
What do you? Yeah.
All right. You can move Earth, right?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm like a freaking like. I mean, I can move Earth. Yes.
Is
But
it one
not-
of your? That's one of your things, right? You can do that.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say like I'd be able to like take like a huge truckloads and whatnot.
You can do it
It's a truck.
repeatedly.
like a 5-foot square, so 5 feet.
You can do it over and over, or
Yeah, I can.
all right. Here's my thoughts. If we're going to reach the beach at low tide, we're going to go as close to the water as we can. And we'll have you move Earth just a little bit down. So, give us a little space. I'll put the dome in that space. The tide will then come over top of us. We'll be completely hidden under the water.
It sounds incredibly risky, but I love it. I'm down for the plan.
How do we breathe? In the dome under the water, first of all, does the water not permeate the dome? I assume not.
No,
but would there be a limited amount of air in there?
No outside elements can come through the dome.
When we run out of air in the dome? Okay, now.
This is just a transfiguration in which the air actually comes from another plane.
Oh, excellent.
Yes, rudimentary magic, really. A very useful skill to have.
So,
Right, it's no time to be flexing your magical abilities.
As he's on the back of, how are you carrying him, Sparkmaster?
Well, I got the wheelbarrow.
Oh, as he's sitting on a wheelbarrow next to a dead cat, he goes, "No flexing here."
all right, so we'll make our trek.
Something about this smell.
Do what? The smell?
Yes, if you don't mind.
You talking about the cat?
It's fine. Go on.
So we will trek our way as stealthily as we can.
All right. As you guys are traveling, whoever's leading this excursion, Xander, roll me a D10.
A D10 to see what you can throw at us, and it's going to say absolutely nothing because it's a 3.
Okay, so as you guys are traveling, the closer and closer to the beach, the woods grow thinner and thinner, and there's more plains that extend. The gravel itself growing to sand. Xander, you feel a little bit more anxious than you did prior, just walking through. Keeping your eyes peeled on the rolling hills that are now kind of lining the landscape. There are patches of trees every once in a while. Then suddenly, a shadow overtakes you all. What do you do? Knee-jerk reaction.
I look up.
Get down.
Get down. As low as you can.
Sparkmaster, as you're holding the wheelbarrow, you hear Aster yell out a "Oh!" And then a bird flies down and transforms. And Bearman is back.
Bearman?
Bearman.
There, man.
Oh. I needed to thank you for wresting me out of prison. Thank you.
Show, I believe that's to you.
You're talking to me? No problem. I could tell our chemistry was immediate and strong and that it needed to continue. Thank you for distracting all the guards. That was a selfless act for a bearman that seemed at first to be very stoic, selfish, and cold-hearted. You turned out to be quite heroic. The stuff of a crew of heroes, if I do say so myself. Anyways, did you just swoop down as a bird?
Yeah.
A wolf, a bear, and a bird. My goodness.
You should have been a bat. I'm a bat.
Do you?
One second. Hey, shut up! Sorry, what were you saying?
Do you have a true form? Which one are you?
This is me,
Bear Man.
Bear Man. I'm just a very hairy human.
Do you have a good nose?
Really?
Good.
Why?
Well, you spooked me a bit when you came down, and I'm an old man. I think I might have soiled myself. Does anybody have a pair of extra trousers?
No.
Carry on.
Can I? Is that I need to see if this is a cantrip, because if it's a cantrip, I'll definitely do it. Nope. Never mind. It's not a cantrip. Where are we going? Where are you going?
We're headed towards the beach. We met a little opposition as we left the city, but excuse me for asking. Is Bear Man your name?
No.
Might I inquire your name?
People call me Braggle.
Fraggle?
Braggle.
Braggle.
With an F?
With a B.
Nice to meet you, Braggle. I'm Xander.
Pleasure.
This companion here with me is Conan.
I love wolves. Great friends.
Cool.
I'm Soupy. We already met.
Yeah. You're cool. I like you, Super.
I like you too, Bear Man.
Show your... Well, did Show introduce himself to me?
No, I don't think
Yeah,
so.
you-
I'm sure. Yeah, maybe I did. I don't remember. It was chaotic, and I'm still
Very
exhausted.
excited.
But we're and sorry, Sparkmaster.
And I'm Sparkmaster. Pleasure to meet you.
I haven't met Dragon person yet. Very cool.
Thank you. I've never met a bear man before.
Again, hairy human.
I've never seen a human with so much hair before.
It's actually a disease, so just keep your distance. Your scales will change over.
I didn't hear that.
Well, we're making our way to basically hide under the tide with the help of our friend Xander's powerful magical abilities here in order to try and elude our captors and gain some rest. If you are similarly exhausted, I suppose you've earned my trust.
I appreciate that.
You led the soldiers away from us. You're okay in my book.
Agreed.
Usually I'm alone most of the time. I have a couple friends, but they travel a lot.
Oh,
Most of us
no.
prefer to be alone, but we've all managed to work together.
Guys, don't push too hard. He seems to maybe be anxiety ridden when in a group of individuals. Maybe we should just cut him free.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Aster. And he starts to get up from the wheelbarrow. And this is my dead friend, Kat. Actually, we just met. I think his name's Namina.
His
And,
name is Namina, and he's a dear friend of ours.
Why? Haven't you ever heard about burying your friends?
He looks fresh.
I don't know. How do you know, Bear Man? Do you have some connection to him?
I mean, his body's not decaying, I'm guessing. I mean, that's what I would think he would be able to see. I think he'd be able to see
Can't
it.
smell that.
He's got a
Okay,
bear
all right.
nose. Bears have like crazy good noses, if I'm not mistaken.
You do have a good nose.
But Super, he's not a bear.
Yeah, all right.
He's not a bear.
Just-
Hairy
Wait,
human.
Just a hairy human.
Esther, we're just trying to resurrect our friend here, And I heard talk that there might be a druid somewhere on the island, so we're just kind of dragging this corpse around for a little while. In the meantime,
what's the druid's name?
we don't know. I don't know who the druid is, if I'm not mistaken. Am I, mistaken? Do I know this druid's name? I don't think.
Master, would you happen to know any extremely powerful druids that that someone may have sent us to?
We thought you were going to be one of those powerful druids, but we were mistaken.
Damn.
Sparkmaster just side eyes
He
Xander.
slowly starts unbuckling his pants and he drops them down.
I did
and
hear
he's
you correctly.
old and his legs are kind of shaking. He lifts one of them up and moves it aside out of the pants. He lifts the other one out of the pants. He said, There are a few powerful druids, and I have an extensive Rolodex. See? Look right over there. And he points up, and as you guys look, you just hear, and Xander gets the pants thrown at his face. Soiled. I might not have magic, but I'm still tricky.
That was an interesting trick. I mean, I'm definitely bamboozled over here.
You just wait till I get my rest. But,
I know a strong druid. He helped me a lot.
oh, what's his name? I probably know him as well.
His name is Eno.
You met Eno?
Yeah, I know of him.
Where does he usually reside?
Eno has 3 places he 4 places he likes.
He has 4 places.
He travels between the 4 places. I know of 3. The 4th one he goes alone. It might be. I always think it's at the top of the mountain, but I'm not sure.
So where are the other 3?
Various spots in the forests.
The southern forest? Far from here?
He likes to. He has one in the southern forest, and the other 2 are located in the mountains.
Eno is a powerful druid and one of the highest in the Order of the Clasp.
Yeah, he helped me a lot.
What is the Order of the Clasp?
It's a special circle of druids that help with the monitoring of the island and keeps track of the energies that are coming out of it.
So is this order aware of the problems that are happening now?
Yes.
Yeah. Eno is very scared.
I can tell you, Egbert has been in contact with them, and I imagine has gone westward to participate in some of the vows that are going on. There are a few dozen members of this circle, and, well, they seem to be leveraging as many druids of other circles as they can to keep things in order. But the island is boiling from within, not to mention the political upheavals which are scarring its surface.
That's why I was in jail. I killed woodcutters. They were trying to cut down a forest that I was trying to protect.
Oh, Bearman, you were a bit of a wild, unhinged one then. You were a druid, no?
Yes. I learned a lot from Eno.
As have I.
He's a great guy. He makes really good coffee.
All right. Well, let's talk and walk.
You guys come to a clearing in the dunes, and this is when the hills of the sand really grow and roll. It's like this way for probably 200 yards, where you can easily hide in the dunes. But the beach is up ahead, and you can hear waves rustle. Off in the distance, northward, you can see ships coming in by the dozens almost. For anybody who's familiar with the port of Alabast, it's a busy port, but even the amount of ships you see coming in is definitely larger than normal.
What can we tell what type of ships they are from here? I mean, as far as are they?
Does anybody have proficiency in water vehicles?
Oh yeah, of course we do. I mean, that's a normal proficiency is water vehicles. It's.
But for real?
I totally do. Me, definitely.
I mean, yeah.
I'm joking.
Well, Sparkmaster at least spent some time on a ship with Namina, right?
Sparkmaster did.
True. But I wouldn't consider myself proficient with ships.
They're large ships. They're definitely not personal ships. Could be carrying either a lot of people or a lot of goods. Three of them seem to be having the same color flag, but they're too far away to see if they're the exact same flag. The rest have different color, shapes, and sizes.
Okay.
Can we determine like if they seem to be like military?
That's what I was thinking. I think someone's marshaling an army, but I have no evidence for that.
Right. Is there any way that we could potentially tell? I mean, I guess I could throw.
Roll a nat 20 in a perception check.
All right, let's see if I do.
Sold. Let's see.
20. No, I'm just kidding.
You can't tell. They're just too far away, and there's some mist on the sea as well, and so much so there's an optical illusion which actually makes it look like the ships themselves are floating on top of the ocean.
Right.
There's a gap between them and the ocean.
I know what you're talking about.
Which is a really fucking cool optical illusion, by the way.
Yeah, no, I've seen it myself. What's it called? There's that
Mirage
song by The Doors. It's not quite a mirage, but there's the song by The Doors, and it's about like this floating ship or whatever, and it's based off of. There's this. It's like an oil rig or something that's like offshore of I think like San Diego or some shit, where it constantly looks like it's like floating over the water. It's really trippy. Anyways,
what magicians are the Doors?
They're long past.
Oh. All right, so you guys, do you want to do the hut?
Yes. We'll make our way to the beach and bury ourselves as much as we can. Not completely to where the dome's under, but just where about 5 feet of it's going to stick out and the rest of it's going to be under.
Super, you come over and start molding earth, and it actually works a hell of a lot better than normal.
I help
The
him.
amount of sand you can push is traumatic, but then the only problem is it starts to fold its way back down. So if there was a way you could dry the sand, it would be even better. But you do the best that you can and make kind of a circle, more of a trench. And you start ritualizing the dome, but something catches your eye off in the distance.
me?
In the water. A dragon turtle. It's coasting in the distance, northward.
Following the ships.
You don't quite know yet. You suspect, but it unnerves you to say the least.
What is that?
It doesn't unnerve me enough to keep casting because it's not right coming at us. It's coming right for us.
You continue to cast and you get the dome up as the dragon turtle goes underwater.
Cool. So I'll be inside the dome. You guys can then come and go as you please, but I have to stay in here.
If anyone wants to converse or do anything amongst yourselves, this is the time. I would say for anybody who's looking for the next level, except maybe Super, this might not be the right time for you.
So I'll set Namina's body down somewhere that looks respectful.
Well, everything in the bottom of the dome is dry, so it's dry and pleasant temperature. Everything is good. We can see outside the dome, so we're seeing waves come up and start to go over us when high tide hits.
All right, I set his body off in the corner somewhere. Make sure it's positioned, arranged in a respectable manner.
And I'll make it sand color.
Okay. I say a short prayer in front of Namina's body. And then I want to go talk to Sho.
What's happening, Sparkmaster? Sho says, very exhausted.
And I take a pause, and I just look rather concerned. And I just say, there's been a lot on my mind since Namina's death, Sho. I'm having a very hard time handling it.
I understand that.
When I was younger, I lost another friend that was very, very close to me in the event that destroyed my hometown. And I tried to save him. And I had to amputate his leg. And I didn't know enough about medicine to properly tie it up, and he bled to death in my arms while I was trying to save him. And I always told myself that I wasn't going to lose another friend like that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sparkmaster. This is terrible. I'm sorry. Listen. I'm sure I'd like to look around a second and see if anybody is paying attention. Is anybody paying attention to their conversation?
If you're inside the dome, 100%, you're just so close to each other. But if you stepped out, which Sparkmaster, you tell me if you did or not, you can be walking down a nice dry beach.
Yeah, maybe we stepped out.
Okay. Well, then looking back over his shoulder, Sho's going to turn back and say to Sparkman, I don't know if there's anything to this. And many indications show that he is, in fact, Aster, but something rubs me the wrong way about this Aster. Maybe he's just maybe his spirit's been rocked or broken, or maybe he's just exhausted and the stint in prison was just very rough on him. But the Aster that I met when I got here didn't seem like the type that would throw shitty pants at somebody who insulted him. That seems rather undignified for the wise leader that it was that I met that set us out on this journey. But take this all with a grain of salt, as I too am really exhausted. But I'm somewhat concerned.
No, I share your concern, and I certainly don't know Aster as well as the rest of the party, but he doesn't act the way he seems to act when we met him with Sumper outside of the tree. And who knows what being in that prison does to a person. But also the fact that Sumper doesn't seem to be picking up on a lot of this, and he certainly knows Aster better than us. That part at least puts me somewhat at ease, but I definitely share your observations that he is different than the man we seem to have met before.
Well, Super is a gnome of extraordinary vitality and singular focus. He's been entirely consumed with gold, though through no fault of his own, for a long period of time, and he seems as the type that could not notice things in the periphery if they are not involved in his current, undertaking. But anyways, I agree. Prison may have had a strong effect on Aster, and that's something not to underplay. But I felt I would voice this to somebody while we were somewhat secluded. And once again, I'm sorry to hear about the loss of your friend. I certainly have not given up on Namina yet, as obviously many of us haven't, as we're still dragging around his body.
Yes.
But
yes, I'm still holding out hope we can have him back.
Seems like Bear Man is sort of smoothly replacing him in our whole
Yes.
sort of group dynamic. But
it is interesting that we always seem to have the same number of people. And Bearman certainly, I'm not sure what it is, but he somewhat reminds me of Namina. Perhaps it is the fur.
Indeed. Yes, I would get nervous if another Red Party member should show up while I was still alive.
Yes.
I would hope that we wouldn't accept them into the fold too eagerly. This might be a bad omen for my survival.
Indeed. I'm still holding out hope we can bring Namina back. I can't shake the idea that I could have saved him. I left the party to acquire this staff, and I was unable to turn it down. I was overcome by this pull, but I can't shake the feeling that I contributed to his death, just like my friend when I was younger, and I inadvertently caused him to bleed to death while attempting to save him.
Don't take it too hard. What's going on with his staff? Do you still have the staff, by the way?
Yes, it is in my pack.
How are you feeling these days?
I feel like I am being pulled in two directions, between the dark and the light.
I see. Okay.
So I gouged a guard's eyes out with my claws because he spit at me.
But you were hanging out with Xander at the time, weren't you?
I was.
He tends to have that effect on people. He seems to dismember our enemies sort of with a remarkable ease of spirit that a little bit disquieting, but so far, it hasn't really been any of us.
Yes.
So
it is tempting to pin it on being goaded on by Xander, and to a certain extent, as Xander does, he certainly didn't stop me. But that would be an excuse. It feels like these events were, or the events leading to it were excuses for me to be able to do it. I don't know how to explain it. I get these pulls that concern me very greatly.
This is concerning. This is concerning indeed. Why don't we return towards the bubble, though? I'm quite exhausted now, and I feel as though I need to rest and regain my power. Thank you for confiding in me, Sparkmaster. I appreciate that very much, and thank you for your help. And please don't carry any blame for Namina's death. These things certainly happen while adventuring. I can blame myself as well for the way that the battle played out that day, and for not having been able to do more to save him myself.
Thank you, Sho. Thank you for listening to me. You've welcomed me into the party from the very beginning, and I feel that the two of us can sort of bond in our way. We are different from the surrounding denizens of the island. I feel we kind of share some of those similar experiences from being different. Thank you for being here.
Of course. And Sho walking back towards the bubble. Slight. I don't know if Sparkmaster will be able to pick this up, but a slight level of caution between himself and Sparkmaster, now that he kind of mentally clocked the fact that Sparkmaster seems to be under the magical influence of something that might have made him more murderous, and having also experienced Sumper's magically influenced mania for a while as well. Now he's sort of connecting the dots, thinking about Super's obsession with gold, looking at Sparkmaster's got something that might make him equally obsessed with gouging eyes out. A little bit disquieting, but also mixed with feelings of appreciation for having been told this by Sparkmaster himself.
Sparkmaster, roll me an insight check privately.
Okay.
Hell, you can do it publicly, I guess.
Insight. Ooh. 15.
Very well. And I think through the conversation, whether you're insightful of that fact or not, you noticed Sho keeping things at a shallow level in conversation with the amount that you opened up. And whether you can use the 15 and whether or not how well you know Sho to know how open he is, or if that's just his normal character per se. He did talk about some things, some private hunches, which is interesting. But you can notice a little bit of skepticism to drive deep for some reason.
Sho's also very repeatedly insistent of his exhaustion too, though. He's mainly exhausted.
But Sparkmaster doesn't know that.
Bum, bum, bum. I'll let you sort that out yourself. Is there anything else you guys would like to do going back? Xander, I know for you might want to train your dog.
I did it this morning.
What'd you roll?
Well, that's what.
Oh.
That's where
like
we had rolled a few days ago.
Again?
Do what?
Would you like to spend time doing it again?
Actually, there is something I wanted to do. I wanted to go ahead and cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
And ask him what's wrong with him.
Xander, I love when we talk. I'm just exhausted. I don't know what else to tell you. Naps don't do any good, but I'm starting to feel up and up. Just moving around with you guys, I'm starting to. I think I'm doing well.
Do you remember when it started?
Just bad dreams. It's like I'm running after a cat, and the cat's always faster than I am. But then the cat starts to run after me. And then there are 20 of them. I'm with a pack of wolves. But one of the wolves isn't right. It starts to feast on our souls. I don't know, nothing too out of the ordinary, to be honest. But it keeps me from getting a good night's sleep, that's for sure. I think my sense of time is in dog years, so I don't know how to translate really, but
Do you remember something that happened to you around the time that all this began to take place?
yes, when Super cast his hands on me,
Did he touch you?
all I'm saying is that's about the time it happened.
Wait, I'm not there right now, am I? Am I
No.
hearing this?
Yeah, but
Well, yeah, but we're I'm Speak with Animals, so
Okay.
Super. Feel free to shoot me a chat. I'll shoot you a chat, Super.
Sounds good. My camera's off just because I'm eating and didn't want to do that.
You pussy. Turn your camera on.
I don't care if you're eating a burrito.
I feel like some people. Okay, fine.
I've sit with somebody eating before, dude. It's a part of life. People actually enjoy eating with other people.
I do not. I am not one of those people.
And I guess while we're sitting there, I will work with him on. What do I got to do? On stay, and try to
Hey,
explain
why
to him.
getting so abrupt with me? I answered all of your questions.
So I'm going to work with Conan on stay and understand what stay means.
Okay, so that doesn't mean go, right?
Does not. It means to not do anything.
But what if there's a goblin walking by?
You kill it.
So I don't stay then.
You still have free will. If I tell you to just stay, then you could just sit there and die, and I don't want that. But unless you're in danger, stay where I ask you to stay.
Oh, I'm so confused. There's too many conditions. You spoke with animals, and god damn it.
I understand. I mean, it's not like they're, intelligence 18. His intelligence is 3. So that's a wolf intelligence. It's a 3.
Oh, go ahead and roll animal handling. I think with advantage. No, you get half the time you spend doing it. So roll animal handling check.
14.
That's a fail for the DC for stay, or is that a success?
What's?
It should be on the sheet somewhere. Just go ahead and mark that down, and look it up. Sparkmaster, Bearman, Soomper, Show, Tutatu. Anything else you guys would like to do while hanging?
Show's definitely passed out at this point.
I believe that I'm a little on the exhausted side too. I probably would be knocked out.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Okay.
Sparkmaster can't sleep. He's just gonna sit down next to Nemina's corpse, pull out a cloth, and get into his Zen space and polish his sword.
Whoa.
Guys, that's not a euphemism.
Oh my god.
That's like some dead kitties, right?
All right, Sparkmaster. Didn't know you liked me that much.
Sparkmaster likes some pussy, that's for sure.
I miss him too much. Oh, Smithers.
That's funny.
Hopefully this the evil doesn't call him to do anything here. We'll see.
Oh jeez. As you all bed to rest, you fall asleep pretty easily. Sparkmaster, you stay up, polishing your sword, and every once in a while your eyes start to shut, and you kind of pull yourself awake. Maybe fearful of something, maybe just a lot on your mind. You begin to daze out. You have this feeling of an incredible good come about you. You feel heroic. You feel terrific in almost everything. And then flashes of seeing Nemina's dead body and going toward the staff overcome you, and you start to just twirl around. You come to snap yourself out of an almost dream state, and then slowly start to go back down until you hear a laughter. Sparkmaster, where are you going? We're in this together. You and I.
Remains to be
Sparkmaster.
seen. Who are you? Will you tell me your name finally, or will you continue to hide?
I am but you, but a gift to bring you back. You are my legs, and I am your soul. Why do you care?
Because this is not entirely of who I am. Perhaps a piece of me.
It's not who you were.
But there is another piece. I feel it's dead.
That piece is dead.
It can't possibly be dead. I still feel it.
Ha. Just feel what I allow you to feel.
I like not to believe what you say, but I understand why you say it.
Well, we maybe got off the wrong foot. Who do you want to be?
I want to be closer.
Are you not thankful for my gift? I could have chosen anyone. You think that people wishing to come back to life is something rare? Ha! I chose you. You are gifted.
So why did you choose me?
Roll the dice, really. Seemed like a good pair of legs. But why did you ask?
I'm interested in what sets me apart from the countless others who also wish the same thing as I in that point in time.
A time and a place, a situation, the goodness of your heart. It's a little bit curious.
Why not this one? And I pointed at Mina.
Well, because I already had you. Would you like me to drop you dead right here and move into his party?
Could you do that?
Sure I can. Do you wish it?
Part of me does. Part of me does not. Which part wishes which? I do not know.
Well, I could tell you it is not easy to tear me from your soul. Believe me.
And I do not expect to be able to tear you from my soul, but there is someone that may be able to do so.
So you do wish me to leave? Why not thankful for this gift? You're in a half sleep, and then at the base of your spine, the most sharp pain, like somebody sticking a very fat needle right in above your tailbone and just jerking it around, takes over you. Your eyes bolt wide open. You can try not to scream if you'd like, and you can roll a con save on that. But otherwise, you're belting out as your back just opens up and you are completely widely awake, no longer imagining anything, and just within the dome.
Yeah, I'll scream.
Don't give me a scream. The rest of you all wake up.
Shut up.
What was that?
I'm sorry, guys. I've been overwhelmed by a sharp pain in my back.
You're actually still experiencing that, so you're still like,
It hurts. It hurts.
What hurts?
My back.
Where is it? Let me see.
I'll lift up my garment so that
I have my hands ready to cast
Bearman
Cure Wounds if I see
Bearman can see. Is there anything
yeah,
there?
you guys can see the muscles in a very specific part of his vertebrae, even under his scales, just pulsing like a crazy cramp.
I move my hands back, and I'm I kind of walk a couple steps away, and I'm like, "What's wrong with you?"
Am I still feeling it?
Yeah, you're still there.
I can't explain it right now. It just hurts.
Somebody heal him. Can somebody heal him? What's going on?
I then go back. I then go back and I try to heal him.
All right, go ahead and cast. What are you casting?
Cure wounds at
Okay.
first level. 8.
Okay.
Just see if it helps at all.
I can say that at the very least, it increases the blood flow to the area and kind of starts to pull it out. You still feel an incredible tension there. But it's not as debilitating, Sparkmaster. It's still you still speak with a strain per se, but it's better than it was.
Thank you. It still hurts, but that definitely improved it.
No problem.
What caused it? Is it an old injury or?
I don't know, Xander. I don't know. I woke up with this sharp pain.
Is it subsiding enough that you can get your rest?
I can try. It's no longer something that is taking all my focus, but it's still there.
You guys all settle back down. This happens at about the 3-hour mark. Let's go ahead and say the 2-hour mark. So you have about 6 hours left on the dome. You guys all bed back down. Sparkmaster, as you finally relax your back enough, you fall back to sleep, and you can feel that falling feeling. You almost catch yourself, and you open your eyes, but vividly hear, "You think it's easy to tear me from your soul? Believe me, I'm not easily distracted while I'm feasting. Your soul is now woven into the very foundation you stand upon. Remove me, Sparkmaster, and you crumble." Who is it that you serve?
Seems like this is something you should already know. Why do you need to ask? You're woven into my soul, after all.
Well, I like to think my legs and my hands give me feedback of the world around them. But Bahamut does not care. He has his own wars he's raging. Even if you were a good follower, which, well, we both know the truth about. You're but one of 1,000. Father for the greater good now. But I have a stake in you, Sparkmaster. I'm invested in a way Bahamut never was. I care for you like a warrior cares for his body.
Indeed, you have seen fit to bring me back. But I still find you very untrustworthy. I don't know what you say. I don't know what truths and what lies lie in on these conversations that we have. And I do not feel that Bahamut has completely deserted me. But I suppose we will see.
Why do you think I lie?
I believe it is in your nature to lie.
Who do you think I am?
I'm sure you have a name, but I'm not convinced you're important enough to have a name that we would know.
I have a question for you. Walking around in this world, have you ever lied to your hand? Would it do you any good to do so?
How does one lie to a non-conscious part of their body?
You think your hand is not conscious. You think the foot that you step upon does not experience the world for itself. It merely gives you the information that it consumes. So I ask you again, have you ever lied to your hand or your foot or your stomach?
I don't think it's possible to lie to one's appendages. How would I lie to my stomach?
You
Well-
don't feed it when it's hungry. I don't know.
I've certainly denied myself food when I was hungry. If I felt I
come
had more
across
important
something-
tasks.
You come across something that you know is good for you, but you also know at the same time it might not settle well. Dogs eat grass in order to vomit. That is but a lie, though a very strategic lie. And I will tell you, Sparkmaster, you are my legs, you are my arms, you are my stomach. I would not lie to you unless it's better for both of us. But up to this point, I've spoken the truth.
It is still very difficult for me to trust one such as yourself, and I suspect that will be very difficult to change.
How do
But
you
you are-
feel like you do not owe me something? This is baffling to me.
There is indeed a debt. It has to be paid at some point. Why do you not tell me what it is that I must do?
It is tough for a mortal to understand. Can I show you?
Is it going to be more of what you showed me a few minutes ago?
Is the answer yes or no?
You may show me.
Your vision of, imagine yourself with your eyes closed, you can still see the lights of the moon and those reflecting off of the outside. Dull, but you can still see the lights. That all grows incredibly dark as it almost feels like you're falling deeper into sleep. You have this feeling that you know of, a feeling of a great battle. Though you don't have the sounds or the imagery, though you start to paint them on that feeling, but it's the feeling that you are given. Superimposed on top of this, images of your family being crushed, then hope itself crushed. As images start to pop up of your mother in your arms, her crying and panting as she flexes her leg trapped beneath a heavy beam of iron. The sound and the vibration of a blade sawing through her bone as she screams, and then the look in your mother's eyes. A picture of your dead mother and father before you, a titan walking away. You finding your mother and father's body begins to fade away. I've risen you back into this world. Your mother had the kindest soul in this world. You never had the chance to say goodbye. What if goodbye wasn't even necessary? What if your mother could see you wielding that historic sword of a great lineage? Imagine the look in her eyes. I should bring her back, shouldn't I?
Would she know that I'd be dealing with one such as you?
I will not tell if you do not tell. I want my body to be happy, my legs to walk, for me to see this plain. And I can tell your mother's soul longs to see you as well.
And this time I must find the strength to not accept such a gift, though I may strongly, strongly desire it. It's been too far removed. I'm too far removed from these events.
I wish you would have told me that earlier. I've already tapped her soul and she was so excited to see you. But I will tell her that you don't want to see her.
It's a very strong, strong temptation. But I must resist. She's been gone over a decade.
Well, enough, Spot.
You can't bring her back.
What do you want from me? And I can do so many more things than you think.
Haven't you given me enough? What am I to do? What am I to do for you? You keep popping in and demand loyalty, but I don't know what it is that you want.
I don't know how to get your loyalty. I give you powers, I give you life. Things that gods do for others, and they have so many followers. What has Bahamut ever done for you personally? Given everything. Decided not to start a family of your own. Decided to dedicate all of your life, the last lineage of your parents, a dead end in your bloodline. For Bahamut, who doesn't even know your name.
Bahamut knows my name. She knows all of her followers.
There's a kind of a storm in your mind.
Whoa.
Unsettling. But as I must take care of my hands and feet, what do you want from me, Sparkmaster?
I want nothing more from you than what you've already done. As you mentioned, you've already given me a gift, the gift of life. Why should I be greedy and ask for more?
Fair enough. You all wake up about 5 to 6 hours later. Sparkmaster, you get a short rest. The rest of you all refill yourselves up with a long rest. As you're woken up, the dome collapses and water rushes in. And that's where we'll take a break. Your nation.
Yeah, that's the thing. Oh boy.
ending the fast.
Yeah.
It's like that meal that I.
Oh
my god, it was so good.
You're now live with D&D and Shore Shack Adventures. Our break is over. We have Red Cloud on the line.
From another dimension.
What sorcery is this?
He said, what sorcery is this? Well, Red Cloud is adventuring off in the yonder and may return on the next episode. Good friend, my friend Austin, I must let you go now, for we are resuming. Indeed. All right, so splish splash. You guys are all like, go about your business. Go get your stuff dry. We'll go ahead and say your goods were stored in a place where you were able to gather them all.
What was that?
Say your goods were all stored in a place where you were able to gather them all. So they didn't get too wet or ruined. You are now stuck with two paths forward. One much, much closer than the other. Sparkmaster, I believe you have a piece of parchment that you could potentially share.
Yes.
And, there are a few things that you and others might want to do. But moral of the story is we must choose a direction. Go further down the beach looking for Julian's daughter, or go look for Eno somewhere in the mountains. As you wheelbarrow a dead cat through the woods, time is potentially of the essence, maybe sooner than expected.
Well, I believe our best bet is to possibly gain an ally in someone who we both have the same enemy with. If the enemy of my enemy is my friend, then it seems to reason that Julian's daughter would be an ally.
Indeed.
Yes, I'm curious to meet her
Sense.
too.
Who is Julian?
Oh boy.
I know.
He is the reason that you were thrown into prison.
I don't like Julian.
And neither do most people. Apparently, he is over most of the destruction that is happening in Alabast and on the island, or at least has his hands in it.
And how
He's
can
a
we trust?
greedy, power-hungry man.
How can we trust his kin?
Well,
She seems to be an outcast.
what I've tend to find is one of the most vindictive people that can be against another person is a relative. Because they truly know that person. I could always tell you exactly who I am, but my mother or my father would know me better because they've seen me develop over my time. A child would know their parent because they've seen them when the doors were closed and other eyes couldn't. So if she truly despises her father, then she must truly have a reason.
And through her, we could learn maybe a side of Julian that we didn't know before, too. The more we know about him, the better equipped we'll be in fighting him.
True. Sho, do you still have the sending stone?
Yes,
Might I see it?
of course.
I think we at least need to give them an update.
What is this sending stone?
That's how we were communicating with the king.
Ah, okay. I'm familiar with it. I forgot the term.
So I'll pull it out and rub on the stone and
So if we're
activate it.
guys, if we're communicating with the king, I think I may have some information we might want to either share or convey, but perhaps I will let you be the judge of it before we open the channel of communication to the king. I found what appears to be a contract in a desk in the cavern, and I did not read it until very recently, till we were resting here. But I did stash an item of paper from this desk in the mountain when I broke in the side route to encounter you guys in the jail, and there's definitely a contract here for some very shady dealings, and I do want to share it with the party if we're going to be communicating with the king.
Please
so
do.
I'm sharing it.
Hello, this is the
You all
King's
can read it.
emissary. Talking on the sending stone.
But yes, this is Xander Rednax, and
Oh, yes. How is the party? We were wondering if you were still alive.
we are still alive, and there's definitely evil dealings in the caves that we were investigating. In fact, we barely escaped with our lives. We are now currently on our way to Shore Shack, or at least halfway from Alabast to Shore Shack. We had to make a quick exit and are with a fallen party member. Alabast was our quickest escape. Although Julian has made some terrible changes in Alabast and is having people thrown in jail at his whim.
Shore Shack. That's.
Shore Shack is below Alabast.
Oh, I know geography. That's the opposite direction in which you said you were coming. We expected you a day and a half ago to arrive here.
And it will be a few more days until we're able to make our way back up there. Our problem right now is one of our members has fallen, but it's
Are you in
still
danger?
not too late.
Are you in danger?
Potentially.
Quickly, tell me what you know and what you saw. In the cave.
I'll toss the stone to show.
I might not be the best for this, Xander.
Sparkmaster.
I've been hit in the head and I've forgotten a lot.
Sparkmaster.
If you don't mind, there's a chance you won't make it back here. It seems like you're going the opposite direction and you are falling apart.
Inside the cave, we came across orcs, goblins.
Orcs.
They seem to be mining something as well, and I think there might be.
They're mining
creature
gems, and there was what's her name?
Elizabeth.
No,
wasn't it
Gloria was there.
Ah, yes, Gloria. That's right. There was some kind of a seance that was occurring, and they were communicating with something. The Great Ferrator, was that it?
The Great Veritor, indeed.
Great Veritor. This
Great Veritor's message. The Great Veritor is mentioned in the contract.
this contract. You saw Gloria. Did you set eyes on Gloria?
We set eyes on her, and she set hands on us.
The king advised me to tell you the good news of Gloria's capture.
Oh.
Gloria's capture. This is good news.
Merely hours after you left.
Who captured her?
Be wary. That may not be Gloria.
Noted. Confirm once again, you saw her.
We saw her. Were captured by her. Tortured by her.
Understood.
Yes, it was undoubtedly her.
Tell me about this contract.
Hello? We should have had an hour to communicate, right? That wasn't the stone, was it?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. This abominable, corrupted hard drive of a brain I have.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, it's 24 hours.
All right, now you have a chance to share the contract there, Sparky. Sorry, he already wrote the stone, and I had to be a DM and obey.
So I whip out the contract and unfold it, and I'll read it to the party. In accordance to the agreed upon terms, Morwen Habernacle and the estate in his possession shall provide 1/10 of a legion of white shook bodies for our use by discretion of the great Vereter. In addition, 2 haversacks of Bojita hash per month. And that sounds like the drug that Namina was looking for. The great Vereter in exchange shall provide annually, and I don't know this term, 50 natit of ore-fueled soil, filled vessels with a minimum of 3 vessels delivering monthly. Termination of this contract will occur if deliveries are not received by either party. If this happens without notification, the terminating party owes content and passage of goods to be returned, as well as 10,000 platinum premium for absorbed costs. And it's signed by this estate, this Morwen Habernacle, and the signature from what I assume can only be the Great Vereter is very ominous looking indeed. So there's troops and drugs being exchanged for what I presume to be the soil they're digging out of this mountain. Which may or may not be a Titan's flesh.
Right. So those ships offshore, those very well could be troops coming in.
Thought so.
Now,
have you heard this name Morwen Habernacle before? Is he someone on the island?
no one that I've ever heard of. But I'm fairly new here.
I guess I was assuming it was someone on the island, but perhaps it's someone off the island, and these troops and drugs are coming from outside.
But here's the thing. Why would you need troops here? Unless the goal was to take the entire island.
Or they might be preparing to fight the island.
Yeah.
Fight the island itself.
Troops implies another party to do combat against. Is it Ironton or is it the island?
The world, the forests are consumed with feral people, druids, people that are protecting the forests, and there's something that the Circle of the Class protect. They don't want the island to fall into disarray. I don't know much, unfortunately, but this island holds power. I can feel it.
But we know the story of what's at the center of the island.
A beast of some kind.
A Titan.
Monster.
The island itself, I thought, might have been entirely a body of a Titan.
That's being harvested and chipped away, but its actual essence is what's holding the island together. So the more you take away, the more you destroy the island itself.
Or the more you might wake up what's inside the island.
Hmm?
You never know. The island is terrifying. And it must be respected. And it's not.
I've got to say, I have not really enjoyed Shore Shack since I've been here. I think it's really one of the worst vacation spots I've ever been.
Haven't tried a monkey shot before?
The monkey shots are fun.
I mean, they could do with some roadways, maybe. Yeah. I think $3 billion ought to do it.
Oh, man.
I mean, if it's been here that long, and the only two cities are not even connected by a road, you've got to go around and through a swamp. This is a miserable place to be. And then if you go into the water, you've got a dragon turtle just hanging out. Nobody tries to take care of the dragon turtle. What kind of place is this?
Have you seen the dragon turtle?
We just saw it.
It's huge.
I suspect the authorities have a lot to gain by the dragon turtle being there.
Yes. What about this great Veritor? Does anyone have a feeling what this entity might be?
No.
Has anyone ever heard of the Great Veritor?
Not until we went to that mountain.
Maybe in history or religion?
Go ahead and roll me whatever you want to roll.
I'm going to roll religion and see if I can remember anything. Come on. Oh, you 20 skipping mother 9.
Oh, well, if you take Veritor and convert it to Latin, all I can tell you is it means, I guess, the great betrayer.
What is Latin?
It's a language in a faraway plain that I spent a summer.
As an exchange student.
Is there any way that Sho could try to rack his mind for a better memory of what happened when he was disguised as and hanging out with Gloria during this seance?
Yeah, roll me an intelligence check.
All right.
Roll me an intelligence check. I guess you already took enough punishment. I was going to say disadvantage because you lost your note. That's silly.
Roll a memory check.
I'm going to save inspiration just in case, so that's just 13.
Okay. You met somebody in power in that cavern, but you can't remember a name.
Can I remember an appearance?
You have some suspicion that it could or could not be him or her. He was in the shadow. This particular individual, not confirming it's the Veritor, had a stark whiteness about him, though was in shadow in the. He must have had very sharp and large bones on his face because they cast shadows all across him and his body.
Okay.
Whoever it was spoke to you almost without moving or concern in a vulnerable position, but seemed maybe even lazy. Reclined during the whole meeting with Gloria, showed the map and got the readout from all of the individuals of the caverns. You know, she even mentioned the Great Veritor, and she mentioned Veritarians. Though no reference was made specifically to this individual, who you never got his name, I believe.
Okay.
A larger creature. definitely not a dwarf. Larger than a human, larger than you.
Okay.
All right. Gloria was human, right?
Gloria was human, I believe. Human sorceress.
All right. Well, let's start the trek down the beach and see if we can come across where Julian's daughter is.
Indeed.
Okay, as you kind of wrap up camp, with camp left and not washed away, each of you roll a d20. If you get below a 10, your bedroll washed away. Go ahead and mark that on your sheet. As you're walking down the beach southward, one of you catches a glimpse of a ship being torn to shreds in the north, coming in toward Alabasta. But you push on. There's not much you can make except for the distinct mast going down sideways, which you've looked at the illusion enough, and though it makes a ship float, it doesn't make a ship go sideways, so it's not an illusion that you see. Going down south, you almost see something off in the dunes kind of trailing you. Roll me a perception check, whoever wants to lead or watch. If anyone else wants to do anything else during the journey, let me know. You just won't be watching, but we'll give you credit for whatever you're trying to do.
All right. Well, I rolled a 7.
I'll roll for perception too.
Conan does have a passive perception.
I rolled 9.
I rolled an 11, noticing that nobody seems to be very observant, but maybe I was also observing them not being observant a little bit too much.
Yeah, you were very conscious of them not being observant. So much that probably distracted you from looking into the dunes. But Conan every once in a while would bark in a direction. And you could have swore you see long black hair vanishing into the dunes in various places.
I rolled a 21 on perception.
Sparkmaster, you know where she was born. No, I'm joking. You see through her soul. You catch everyone else kind of darting their eyes around as Conan barks, maybe once every 10 or 15 minutes, but it's a very directed bark, like he notices something. You just so happen to look in the right direction with extreme clarity as everyone else starts to question themselves about what they're doing.
Yes, back there. Yes, on that shelf. Pick up that book.
And you find as they all look to each other and ask whether they've seen anything, you look right over Simper's head. And not only do you see, but hear a girl with long black hair. It must be body length. And you hear as she goes behind a hill, and then expecting to see her come out the other side of the hill, vanishes.
Was she opaque?
Not at all. If anything, rather dark.
No, I guess by opaque I meant not transparent. Or she's somewhat transparent.
Yes, it was very dark. Sorry, opaque.
Okay.
Was she a
Yes.
transient?
Today's vocabulary word is opaque. For all you DMs out there who might encounter that word.
Did you see something, Sparkmaster?
I saw a girl. A laughing girl. But she's
Well,
gone now.
We're looking for
It's
a
very-
girl.
Very peculiar.
Jewel.
She laughed. She went behind the hill and she did not emerge. Should we go investigate?
What's her name? What is Julian's daughter's name?
I don't know.
Me neither.
We knew it once upon a time. We've forgotten it. Let me rack my brain for it.
Sparkmaster, as you're thinking, Bearman, you're examining. What are you thinking about the group at this point? You're rather new. Earth to Bearman.
Braggle.
What's up? Sorry, I wasn't paying
Down at
attention.
Braggle Rock.
All right, Sho, as you're looking at the group, you look up, and just over Xander's head, who's all looking backward, you see a girl standing there with her head kind of tilted like this on the plain beach with nothing behind her, just staring at the group.
Show says,
So You. Don't run anywhere. We're looking for you, I think. Are you the daughter of Julian? And then she immediately starts running straight into the water.
Wait, we're no friends of his.
I don't know if we should follow that lady into the water.
I don't like her.
And she goes into the water, and the tide is coming in, and you can see her hair floating, but her just going under.
Oh, she's creepy.
Can I do like a nature check? Like what? How do I like identify creatures? Is it nature?
What are you trying to do?
Like see if like this is like some sort of like I don't know, like a mermaid or some evil creature or something.
Yeah, you can roll a nature check.
Damn, 11.
It is nothing you've encountered. The stories of mermaids have always been nice and uppity. You've heard a few evil ones, but she sounds... And then you think just situationally, this just seems really creepy. Maybe it's not her. Maybe it's just the situation. But no natural inclination of what's going on.
Didn't we hear that Julian's daughter had a house somewhere between Shore Shack and Alabast?
Yeah.
So there should be a home. So let's just walk along the beach until we can find a residence.
I agree. I'm not inclined to follow the laughing, mysterious, creepy lady into the water.
Indeed.
I agree.
But let's keep a heightened eye out for her. She kind of freaks me out.
She is creepy.
As you guys move forward, you look and can see the footprints, and it almost justifies that, yes, this actually did just happen. You see them going into the water and the ripples washing away the footprints. You walk past where you saw her go in, and all of your eyes are fixed on the water as you walk by, trying to think what the hell just happened. This isn't your first weird experience in this world, and hopefully it won't be your last. But you walk by, undisturbed.
You're so gross.
You continue walking for about another 45 minutes. Do you stay on the beach or go in the dunes? Tide's starting to come in, and kind of limiting the open beach, and there's not as much hard sand to necessarily walk on, Sparkmaster, so your wheelbarrow starts becoming a little tougher. But the dunes are not any easier, I'll give you that.
I stoically take this burden without any complaint. I view it as my duty.
Now the other guy, he can walk now, right?
He's just old. But as you said something like that probably earlier, like, hey, you can walk now, he turns into a white stallion.
That would have been helpful earlier.
Yeah.
Well, can we put Namina on the white stallion and use the horse to haul him along?
Indeed. Yeah, and you guys can strap him down to the point where he doesn't fall off. I'll give you that.
Sure.
You guys go along until you start seeing some outcroppings coming up ahead. It looks like almost coral pillars and walls jetting out of the ocean, mixed with the rock that apparently just has not worn away with the water splashing against it, maybe in high tide. You swear for a moment that you see the girl perched on a rock, but then you rub your eyes and you see that it's just a rock perched on a rock. Almost looks like it's balancing, just sitting there. You approach to see a staircase, but not to a house per se, but an opening in the wall in a cave. On the bottom of it, you find a ripped piece of paper. And I don't know exactly how Roll20 did this, but the note that I think Soompa read to you is only supposed to be a top half. You found a bottom half that should be shown in Roll20 now.
Oh, what you gave me was the bottom half.
Oh.
Just FYI.
You found a top half.
Wow.
That makes much more sense. Who picks it up?
I'll pick it up.
Oh, you pick it up. That's fine.
Okay, as you walk over, you look up, you grab it, and you look up, and you see a staircase chiseled into the coral, but with polished pieces of coral and gems on every left side of the staircase that winds and turns up into this cavern, if you will, that though it's not built, it is well finished with odd decorations. Go ahead and read the note to the group, if you would. And you can combine it with the other note if you want to read it through.
All right, if I can.
Now, Super has the bottom half.
I do. I'll read the bottom half once.
Right. You are still the only one who has my heart. For this, you have my word. No sickness nor cosmetic blemishes will bring me dismay. It's your birthday once again, and I've put this basket together for you. I distinctly remember you tucking the bunny in every night before your mother put you to bed. Pouncer was its name, I believe. Do you remember? I've written you so many memories. I wish nothing more than your happiness, little Hopper. Except for maybe a return correspondence when you're ready.
remember what I always told you.
Hold peace close to your heart.
I am so very sorry for what I've done. You're the only one left in the world that matters to me. Your father, J.M.
You both get inspiration. That was miraculous.
Woohoo! I'm so inspired.
So this seems like Julian writing to her.
It seems way too nice for Julian to be
It
right.
seems way too,
Yes.
too full of remorse for Julian. He seems so ambitious.
Everything I've heard about Julian is not what I've expected him to sound like. Is there any other JM this could be?
I mean, there must be others. I mean, there's only so many initials you can have.
Stranger still, I thought that this daughter was an outcast. I thought that he
Yeah.
had disowned her.
Maybe it was the other way around. Maybe he left her. Maybe she left him.
Maybe. Very perceptive, Bear Man.
Out of character. I just kind of blurted that out.
Super, where did you find the bottom half of this letter?
I found it. One of the gods dropped this that was taking show to
The
prison.
guards.
That's what it's. If I recall correctly, that's what I
It
found.
was actually Elor.
Oh, it's Elor. that
dwarf.
dropped it. The dwarf, yeah, that we never got the chance to speak to.
And who's the one that told us about Julian's other daughter?
That would be somewhere rattling around in my concussed head. But I think we heard about
Was
her
it-
a while ago first, and then again. Not sure.
Was it Hemingway?
You guys
Ooh,
have heard about her a
maybe.
few times, but then people were telling jokes in the bar after you mentioned looking for somebody to heal Namina. Sailors and seamen were cracking jokes about her being able to raise the dead with her hands and yada yada yada, which eventually led to Elor getting the shit kicked out of him. Or so they said.
All right. Well,
We brought the bottom half of your note. Show shouts to the surroundings.
seems like this is it. I'll start walking up the steps. Hello? Is anyone home?
As you start to walk up, you get several paces beyond the rest of your party. The grip on the stairs is actually quite nice. Having the porous coral and lava rock at least gives you secure footing in a situation that seems less than secure. No response as you go about halfway up the staircase. You do see crabs and things crawling along the rocks on the way up, as well as several carcasses of really large crabs. Seem to be gutted and broken open.
And I'm not going to have my hand on my sword or anything, and they're just kind of up, and I'll even take out a flute and start playing some as I walk up some. Like, hello,
What are the
is
rest of
anyone home?
I think I'd be following in the rear. Like I'd be like the very, very end.
Mm-hmm. Show would begin cautiously following too after a couple of paces.
Since we're making ourselves known, Super shoots his wand straight up into the air. I need to get these fucking things done.
Roll a D100, good Soompi.
28.
Oh my god.
I mean, we're making ourselves known, right? So
How far up do you shoot it?
As far as it can go, like it's almost like a flare or something that I'm doing.
Okay, you said 28.
Yes.
You cast it, and then a cloud erupts kind of above you, and then slowly starts to fall.
The cloud starts to fall.
Yeah, it seems to be of a heavy.
Oh god. Oh god. I'm like, guys, this is gonna be a real stinky cloud, I think.
And then as you're playing the flute, you can swear you take a breath and you hear somebody humming from inside.
Oh, you have a lovely voice. Would you sing along with me?
You don't like Julian?
No.
He tried to kill us.
Not a fan.
Good to hear. What about you, Bear Boy?
He's destroying the island. I hate him.
Oh. Do you even know him?
After my friends told me of his doings, I'd get angry at his voice, at his name.
As you stop for a second in this moment, suddenly you hear, and then water starts to just drip down the staircase, and firing out of the corals on the side starts to drip down around you. She begins to hum again.
Is it all right if we approach?
She just keeps humming.
I don't know if we should approach, man.
I'm entranced. I have to see her.
If we don't approach now, we need to stop carrying around Amina's corpse, because this is probably our best bet.
All right. Well, let's stay wary.
Can you talk with us?
Yes. Yes. Come in. Sorry for the mess. I like your voices.
Well, thank you. You have a nice voice as well.
Oh, thank you.
So why are you? What age does she look?
You can't see her at the moment. So you get up and you walk in, and as you look in, the hall is probably 3 or 4 times longer than you would expect it to be. Her place is in a bit of a shamble. There's piles of clams and shells. There's trinkets hanging from the ceilings. There's crab claws that are constantly opening and shutting as part of some gear set up on the walls. The smell, though, is of nothing but like rotten fish. Like if you had bait that was left in your garage for 7 days and you forgot about it, and then your wife got mad at you, and then you opened it and realized it smells a lot worse when you're close to it than it does in the kitchen. No personal experience there. That is how the room itself smells. You can see water getting flushed over the floor every once in a while, even though she's a considerable amount up.
How high is the water? Like at our? Is it like up to our ankles? Is it a little bit lower than that?
Oh
Or is
no,
it
it's
just rushing?
just maybe an inch, and it
Okay.
splashes over. You know, it splashed over while you were coming up the stairs, and splashed over once again.
Does it
Ah,
look-
you look like forgivable opponents. Are you adventurous? And you see her now, or at least a silhouette of her. You see her back, rummaging through a pile of stuff. Her long black hair covering most of her back. Roll me a perception check in a very dim lit space. Roll with advantage, show.
She's gonna be like a seal woman or something. I'm calling it. All right. Oh my gosh. Terrible, terrible rolls. 10.
With the dripping water and the smell, you're looking around, and the whole place itself is distracting to see too much of any one thing.
Is it dark?
It is. There are
Dancing lights.
lights coming from reflections and maybe somewhat transparent coral, but in smears of phosphorescent like substances that must be just smeared across the wall.
I'll cast dancing lights.
You needn't hide from us. If you're a seal or something. You see, I look like a devil.
She pulls her hood up and says, "Turn the lights out. I don't like the lights. If you're in my house, please play nice."
Oh, very well. So sorry.
Much better. Would you like a chair? Here you go. There
Thank
are
you.
plenty of them. She puts her hand up, and chairs begin to kind of move out from the walls.
Thank you.
Which one of you is the most beautiful?
Sadly, I believe he is the reason we're here.
Oh. Something weighs in your heart. Who are you?
We are called the Heroes of Ironton.
That's right.
Heroes. Ha! I was right. You are adventurers.
Heroes. Man, that's right.
Oh, forgive me. I do not talk to strangers socially much.
You don't say.
No, they don't seem to enjoy me in the same way that I do.
Why don't they
see why
seem to
not.
enjoy you?
You say I look ugly.
But how do you enjoy them? You say you enjoy them.
No, I don't. I just enjoy myself.
Oh, I see. Okay.
The laughter is a little unsettling.
Oh, you're a jokester, hey?
Well, my dear lady, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. And if we cannot behold you, well, you must be a beauty.
She turns her head around, and her hair just hangs over her face. You can see a barnacle on her elbow very distinctly, and she looks straight at you beneath her hair and says, "Would you like to hold me?"
Can I whisper to Xander? Like, I think this might be a hag. A hag.
What was that, little
I
one?
said, ha 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 ha.
So, who are you individually?
Well,
Titles are something, but
individually we are nothing, but together we are the Heroes of Ironton.
Also
No,
known
no,
as the Boa Boys.
Two
but
men.
you all have your own story. Yes, tell me of the Boar Boys.
Well, one time there was a bunch of crazy stuff going on. We beat up some bad guys, and we're like, let's get some boars. And then we rode boars around, went up north, beat up some more bad guys. We're the boar boys, baby.
She starts like jumping up and down and like and
I had a
clapping.
feeling you weren't going to be wanting too many details. It felt
That's so rich.
We killed some goblins.
No. I said, who are you? Little one.
Little one.
Storyteller.
I elbow Soomper. Hey, little one. She's talking to you.
Oh, what was that?
I said you're a magnificent storyteller. Who are you?
I am the little one.
Oh, surely you have a name.
Yeah, I forgot it.
Why are you lying to me?
I don't give out my name to strangers.
I butt in and I go, my friends call me Braggle. What is your name?
Oh, Braggle. Huh. You don't seem like the others.
Recent friends.
Ah. What do you guys think of this Braggle?
I like what I see so far. I mean, we just recently met, but I'm a fan already, I should say.
Man of action, bear of action. Not sure yet.
So, should I... Do you trust him?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, like enough so far. He hasn't given me any reason not to trust him.
The bar is set at people trying to kill me immediately when I meet them nowadays. So, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I have your trust.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say yes, you do. Despite the laughter and the darkness, you got my trust.
You haven't hurt us yet, and you seem friendly.
Thank you. I may make up for my blemishes with a heart.
Kindness.
Could I introduce you to the one that we've really trekked all this way for?
One.
The pretty one, yes.
I have him. I've been looking for a pretty one for a long time.
Well, this pretty one has unfinished business.
Oh.
He is searching for his family.
Oh. And my family's searching for me.
This one's family, we believe, was kidnapped by Julian.
Oh, that's fucking a liar. There's nothing but lie.
Who?
And she goes over to a wall and just smashes her head against a rock. Lie.
Like, okay, there's no need to self-harm over here. We're just been on a very long journey, and there's been a lot of just uncertain encounters with a lot of individuals. It's nothing personal.
She comes over to you incredibly fast, like almost uncanny, and comes right in front of you and says, "Don't worry. It hurts more just to stand here than it does to bang my head against the wall."
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
What happened to you?
Is
Lies.
my
Lies have happened to me. This is what
Lies from who?
Who do you hate?
well, since I've been on this island, I have grown to despise Julian.
Yes. Yes. the liar.
Julian Meir.
So Julian lied to you. Is that what you're saying?
No,
And,
he
and
did
cursed
not lie.
her or something.
He did not lie to me at all. You just don't understand. You don't understand.
Are you Amir?
I have pulled far away from that bloodline long ago.
Were you, Amir?
Something like that. But enough about me. Who are you, scary man?
My name is Sparkmaster.
Ah, you are unlike the others as well. You look conflicted.
You seem very observant. I am conflicted.
I don't talk to people much, but I watch them.
How long have you lived here?
For a time. Time is not constant, but more of a fluctuating roller coaster in which I am but a Barbie doll on, smiling and laughing in every revolution. But I grow bored on occasion of riding by myself. So thank you for coming. Yes, thank you. And she starts jumping up and down and clapping again.
Well, I'm the one without any social grace, so leave it up to me to say that time is among many things now. And as you mentioned, and as we mentioned, we're adventurers. And I take it you've been cursed. You let us help you lift this curse. Let us bring the light back into your life and return you to people whom you may love. Let you be the beautiful person that you mean to have. Tell us what cursed you and tell us how we can help you.
She goes, love. And just starts vomiting all over the
No!
black, just seaweed ridden just
Ugh.
vomit just starts coming up. Love is nothing to me. Sorry, my voice got a little hoarse there.
Like then.
Ha! You guys are enough light in my life here. What can I do for you? Is the first question. As I am the host. Yes.
We were hoping, questing to try to find someone who might be able to undo a malady that has inflicted one of our compatriots.
Oh. When you said malady, I thought you were going to give me a riddle. I love riddles. Which of you is hurt? With a malady. Speak up, come on.
Sparkmaster, could you bring him?
Sparkmaster, are you hurt?
No, but a friend of ours is hurt. And he's. Where did. Should I go get him?
Yes.
In the wheelbarrow?
Well, he was on the back of the horse.
I'll go grab him. I walk out and
And I'll go help him if he needs help.
Okay. Aster on a horse looks at you with funny horse eyes. Transforms back into Aster. What did you find up there?
we feel it's Julian's daughter under a curse, but it's a very strange, strange woman.
Oh. Yes.
We will return.
I will tell you more about her when you return. Be careful.
Is she Julian's daughter?
Rumor has it. Even the squirrels believe it. It happened long ago, but what exactly happened, we don't know. It changed Julian.
Interesting.
He's never been the same.
I guess we start to usher Namina's body back in.
Yeah.
Would you like me to come up with you? Or set ready for an escape?
Uh,
Does this woman know you?
I do not know for sure.
Perhaps you should.
I think less
Perhaps-
people, the better.
Yeah. Perhaps you should remain here. Keep watch.
Okay. I'll be ready. Just say, "Caw-caw!" I'll ready a retreat party.
Yes, sir. Okay. Let's take his body up.
And she's, as you're bringing her up, you hear her in conversation, and you're wondering who she must be converting with, maybe Soompa or something. And instead is just talking to a wall, laughing at it, poking it. And then immediately her body's still pointing and kind of playing with the wall as her head just looks over and goes, "Oh, he is so pretty. He would be nice to have. But lifeless? How uninteresting."
Yes, that would be his malady.
Oh, good. I thought that was just his personality. Ha! Thank you for letting me know. I was going to tell you we wouldn't get along. So,
Do you have the ability, the means, or the knowledge on how we could bring him back?
oh yes. Of course I do. I know so many things.
And what would be the cost of this?
Now you're talking.
Nothing is free. I don't expect it to be free.
I can see why you came to me and originally offered to try to help me. I can see now what it is you want. To think, you came out of the kindness of your own hearts. Yes. Bring me my sister Gabrielle. It's been a long time that I've seen her. After all, I want to prove something that I've wondered about.
That can be done.
Go. Leave him here.
I'll need him for that.
Oh, do you?
See, it's currently she resides in Ironton. She
Oh,
isn't in Alabast.
I don't think your friend will make it that long.
That's what I'm saying. What you request can be done, and I'll gladly do it, as I have no feelings for her any longer.
Spite. I love spite. It tastes so amazing. Palatable. Nature. Tingle in your ears. Ah. What was your name?
My name is Xander.
Xander. You spiteful spitfire. I will show you what me and Gabrielle will be up to. Hopefully satisfy your soul just as well once you deliver her. But it seems we must also make other arrangements. You know, there is an artifact of sorts, an item out there. It's been lost. I think a sister of mine knows where it might be, but I fear that it's probably not enough time to quest for that either, considering people have spent half their lifetime to find it. Puts you at a interesting place. Aha! I got it. How about I heard a merchant guy who was following and came and asked for me for something. He called it a blank check. To call for later whenever the party is I need the party for payment for a service. I hear your hesitation. I promise it won't be incredibly dangerous or impossible to ask. I'm just
So,
I mean, you're looking for a shortcut to restore life.
so
not
sure. What you're requesting is you do this for us, and then we owe you something in the future.
Sounds like we're getting cursed. I don't like it.
Dude, can I whisper again to Xander
Hey,
or whoever? This is like 100% a fucking headache. I'm telling you, like this is
we got
straight from the playbook.
we got red flags all over this one. She really likes Spite a lot. That was weird.
Yeah, she's creepy.
Also, the vomiting about love, big red flag. Why don't we think about your offer right outside of your cave?
Yeah, we'll give it a think-see.
We're
A little
gonna-
think-see.
We're gonna have a boule. We're gonna have ourselves a little talk.
Ooh, a boule. I've never heard that word before. I like it.
1 second. I think you want a shortcut to restore life. I'm not sure you have enough time to quest for an artifact or anything else. There's no guarantee you'll find it if
What is this artifact?
you only knew somebody else who could provide her services.
I agree. What is the artifact?
Well, the storyteller, I believe, the short little one, he knows of an item that could potentially restore the pretty man's life.
Eno.
I
So be-
don't think I do.
Have you not told them about it?
What, the
I've heard
seed?
of Yes.
Oh, I mean, that could revive him, but I need this for my people.
Oh,
Hey, what am I doing listening to this crazy? Like, I thought we were doing a boule. What's happening to boule?
Yeah. We need to. We know we need to do. You'll like this because you seem to be into dark and fucked up emotions. We need to go outside and discuss how much we really cared about our deceased friend in order to weigh whether or not the very heavy price that you have rightfully decided to charge for such a great act as to return to reanimate the dead. We just want to make sure that price is worth his life to us real quickly.
I mean, sure,
You could understand that, right?
yes.
Super.
And,
Will your seed bring him back?
I mean, this is the first I've heard of it. It honestly, let's talk about this maybe outside. Let's do the boule.
she picks up a large stone-looking object with fibers on it and says, I just need to tell you how to use it. But have your meeting. I'll put this here for now.
Wait, that's my thing that she took?
She sets it on a pedestal.
Wait,
Go
how'd
on.
she get it?
Have your talk.
You motherfucker.
Okay, we need to figure this out.
And Sumpa's like, you, while he's following him out.
I think Braggle's actually going to stay in there. He's interested. Like he wants to. He kind of wants to. He wants to stay back towards the entrance, like closer to the outside. But he's going to stay in there and kind of like watch her.
So as you guys go out, have your conversation.
Yo, Super, wait a second. What are you saying? Is that your seed? Did she somehow just magically get your seed in her hands?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what happened there. Like, and she's talking about how it could save Namina. I mean, news to me. So I don't know if she's just trying to manipulate us or something, because I've never heard of it being able to do that. Regardless, I do need this to grow a new home for my people back home. That's like half the reason I'm here. Well, half the reason, the whole reason I'm here.
Check your things. You're sure that you don't still have what you think she has now?
Or was that just an illusion?
Well, no. Wait, I came here searching for this.
Oh, you haven't found it yet. That's what I'm trying to figure out. You
Excuse
haven't
me.
found it yet, and she might actually have it in her cave right there.
That's what she seems to be saying.
Hmm.
But I don't know, man. Never trust a hag, and this is a fucking hag. As far as hags go, this is like the hag.
Yeah, she's.
Now,
she's
do you guys
creeping
know
me
what
out.
hags are? No, that's the real question.
I don't know what a hag is, except for I think this is out of character. I think the party told Show that they had run into a hag before.
Okay.
So I would have they would probably, I think they're familiar with it, and I would be familiar with it from that much back in character. Didn't a hag almost kill somebody in this party before you rescued me from the cave many weeks ago?
Maybe. Did they?
Well,
I don't.
the only one that would know would be Super.
I don't remember.
Maybe not.
I don't remember.
That was way before my time.
Well, I guess maybe
Let's
Super
just say
you weren't
Super
there.
was there. Super was there, but he doesn't remember it.
Wait, who got killed by the hag?
Well, no, maybe nobody was killed, but it was very. I just remember having it impressed upon my mind that hags were very dangerous. That you had run afoul of a hag, maybe a little bit carelessly at some point, and that you had all gotten hurt. Maybe I'm remembering. Maybe I'm misremembering this. Maybe this was a
Oh, are
story.
we talking
told
about
to me by-
Andy and Greta's? I don't think that was.
No, that was much more recently. This was
Yeah.
would have been from before you discovered me, and before I joined the party at all. It's neither here nor there, I guess. I must have just heard a story from somebody at some point.
I guess, Mike, out of character, like I know what a hag is just because like I play D&D and shit, and, like my dungeon master.
Well, get rid of that metagaming motherfucker.
Just forget that. Okay, yeah. All right. Well, sorry then. I don't know
Well,
what
I
that
mean,
lady is. But she's
even
weird.
growing up, kids would hear stories of hags. They may have never seen one.
Right, but I wouldn't be able to like identify it.
All right, just jump back into the game. Come on, guys.
Well, that lady is extraordinarily creepy. Anyhow,
Very much so.
I do not want to be in her pocket. That much I can say. As much as it grieves me to have to consider letting go of Namina, at least with this solution, I think for me, being indebted to somebody who is so has such a cursed vibe, that's a no-go for sure. Also, giving her a seed that is somehow like a seed of life to something that seems kind of deathly seems also a little apocalyptic and a very dangerous move. I'm concerned about that. However, I do think that there's some, if this is Julian's daughter, some good in her. I sense that must be, I don't know, just the way the shape of the story seems like she may have once been good. But my suspicion that she was only malformed and in need of saving seems to have been completely off. So take everything I say with a grain of salt.
Aster seems to know more of this story. Should we talk to him?
I think that's a good idea.
Aster, what's her name?
Her name was Raquiela.
Raquiela?
Raquiela.
What happened to her?
Julian's first daughter was a cute and vibrant young kid. Back when Julian was happily married, and maybe even kind, though I did not know him, he just seemed in the street happy. He had birth a second child, and he was so fond of his wife. She was a well-known merchant of the seas. From far and wide, everybody who came into port knew who she was and asked questions of why she was here. They were madly in love. When she grew pregnant with her second kid, Gabriella, they were excited, but she did not make it through the birth. Julian grew somewhat harsh against her, and for some time had a chip on his spine that came through with bad politics into the world. He was part of the Merchants Guild at that moment, and the policies he would veto seemed strange to me and the members, but he eventually warmed back up. I was told he grew fond of Gabriella as she reminded him of the wife that he lost and learned to forgive her. Somewhere in there, and I was far away from Alabasta at the time, living more in the woods before me and Egbert got the place. I think she went missing, Requiela went missing or something, and it really irked Julian, and he's never been the same since. Now, that part of the story is only hearsay, for I was not here, but he is the man you see today, and many say that it happened around that time. People were skeptical of what happened, but she did return after about 3 days, found. And normally a scar would not grow that deep, especially after losing his wife, but maybe it just ripped open a scar. And once you have scar tissue and rip it open, it just never heals the same. There's more to the story, I know, but I haven't had the bandwidth nor the care to dig into it. But it's ruined him as a man. It's ruined Alabasta.
But you don't know what this is. What happened?
What caused it?
What exactly we're discussing here, the scar?
No, I have not heard too much. But there's darkness that surrounds this. Whether it's darkness caused by it or darkness that caused it, well, there's an old druidic saying Which came first, the chicken or the egg? And in this case, I do not know.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot tell you who is more evil, him or her.
It's kind of what I'm getting.
But then again, I have never met her, nor do I really wish to, judging by the teeth chattering I see Super doing over here. Super, what is on your mind?
I mean, this lady's kind of freaking me out. She says that she has the seed that I'm here for, which, knowing hags, she actually very likely may have, if not the seed, something that, one of the seeds, if you would, because they are extremely powerfully magic. I guess I don't know what a hag is, so I don't know what to think. Excuse me. So I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I can really trust her.
Super, I'll alleviate some of your conflict and say you know a little bit about what a hag is. I think you've told the party enough now that you must have.
If she floats, she must be a witch.
I mean, yeah.
You start to hear her humming in the background. I don't have all day.
We'll be right there, Raquella.
What's Bearman doing? Show looks up to see where Bearman's at.
You don't see him at the doorway any longer.
Braggle. Braggle.
Yes.
Can you join our meeting, please?
I don't want to leave.
She's got him under some kind of spell or something.
Yeah, this is not good.
Raquella.
Xander.
Let Bearman go, and we'll bring you Gabriella.
He is free of his own will. We are only talking.
I doubt it, Raquella.
It is
Come
true.
join us.
It is true. However, before entering, look up.
I look up.
Like before you get into the room.
Okay. Okay. Show will start to approach again while looking up.
What are the rest of
cautiously.
you guys doing?
They say what?
What are the rest of you all doing?
I'll
So we're
look
walking-
up as well.
We're walking back in, right?
I'm walking back, but cautiously, so as to not see above the sort of an entryway before I step across the threshold.
Okay. As you guys are walking up, you can see Bearman kind of against the wall underneath her. She looks twice as tall as she did before as you come in, and it kind of takes you back, and you're like, oh my God. Then you realize she's just on a rock, and her hair extends even further down than you thought it did, making her look really tall. Taken back for a second, you look up, you notice there's a cage door attached on a rope that could potentially fall down and lock the entrance shut. Oh, I'm just grabbing some trinkets. Your burly man was interested in a trade, I think.
Not quite. I was just looking. They are very nice.
Oh, but you don't want to trade.
No, I don't have anything to offer, unfortunately.
Everyone has something to offer. But fair enough. You know where I live.
I start to edge myself closer towards the party.
You don't catch her attention because you're edging.
And I will try to keep myself outside of the entrance once we see the door slide.
Oh, don't you all worry. That's just a safety precaution. You know.
If it's a safety precaution, how do we open it? If it were to close.
Well, if it were to close, I would close it.
But if it were to close, how would we open it?
Well, why would I close it? Is there a reason?
If it were to fall.
Rockwell, what happened to you?
What happened to you? Why do you despise Gabriella as much as I do?
She rejected me.
Is that all?
I searched for her, tried to tell her, tried to give her the truth. She spat in my face and rejected me.
She eats lies for breakfast. Unless you coat it with sugar, powder, and a cherry on top, she probably won't even take it.
She's a spoiled brat.
With a gaping hole in her heart.
What is the?
Did you decide?
Well, I think we want to know whether or not you have a seed of some kind, a magical seed.
Super, so it is.
A super seed.
I don't know if Soomper's coming back up here. I think you've upset Soomper.
Oh, I did. Well, yes.
No, Super, and then Super like comes trudging back in. All right. Where'd you get that seed?
Oh, this seed. This is a fascinating artifact on this island. I had to stretch far and wide, uncover rocks, boulders, and fists to come in contact with this seed, who's in the possession of somebody who no longer is able to care for it.
Who was that person that you took it from?
It doesn't matter. But I have heard that you are searching for such a seed.
How'd you even hear that? I think that matters. It pertains to me.
Well, the squirrels are talkers.
Squirrels! I knew it.
Now, I have good news, though. Not only have you found the seed, but the seed is an ingredient to restore the life of your friend. Isn't that great news, Soomper?
Kinda. I mean, I also need it for like my people. I mean, nothing against Namina, but if it's between like Namina and my people, I'm choosing my people.
Oh no.
Isn't that just a dark thing to do?
You don't sound
Yeah, isn't that cool and metal and stuff? Metal, but
you don't seem nearly as conflicted as I thought you would be. Did you not love this pretty?
I mean, yeah, like I love the pretty, but I also have a huge obligation to my people, and I think Namina would understand.
What if there was a
one individual must make for the greater good for everybody?
What if there was only a 50-50 chance that it consumed the seed?
that 50-50 chance that what?
Well, that bringing your friend to life would consume the seed.
I mean,
Like you could bring me to life and then use it again.
Right.
I mean, this is just a what if.
I mean, I still think it's just too much of a risk for like an entire
Fun
people,
at all.
an entire society at risk. 50%. That's like saying it's a 50% chance that all my people will vanish from the face of this earth.
Namina knew the risks of being an adventurer when joining our party. Death is part of our business.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sad to hear it. Of course, if I could do anything, I would do anything as long as it doesn't put my own people at risk.
Ah, I understand. Oh well. There is another way. I'm
What
pretty
is that?
Do you mind? Well, it's not very far. Do I tell you about it? I don't know. What do you have for me? If I have
What
to
do you
work
want?
with Gabriella, the blank check is don't know about. But you still want me to raise your friend from the dead. It's a little bit lopsided.
Well, without Gabriella, without the blank check, what else would you require?
Well, I was hoping. Maybe I'm just not in for a deal. Go somewhere else.
You sure you don't want us to get revenge on Julian or something for you?
I'm doing that every day.
We can help.
We would be glad to help with that quest.
Yeah,
This
party
is
of
an
adventurers here, just being turned down. We could totally adventure that for you, but okay.
I have an odd question for you.
Go right ahead.
Do you know the dragon turtle?
Well, I mean, we didn't exchange names or numbers. But I see him as my front porch observes the sea.
Do you talk frequently with him?
I've exchanged words here or there.
Does it work for Julian?
See, here you go on your lopsided deals and negotiations once again. Why am I to give you all of this information with you give me nothing?
What do you seek?
We give you conversation, friendship.
Kinship?
Conversation's growing boring. There's not a ritual in it. I mean, I could just take you, cage you, toy with you,
You could try.
do things you wish you didn't do, and then release you with all of the scars, but your body's still intact. I can do so many things.
Oh, I could do so many things to you.
You are not
And
prepared to
heal
offer.
and heal those scars.
Well, I would love to see it. And then she starts laughing a really deep, deep, deep laugh.
However, you've already told us that you're bored with this conversation and we have nothing to give you. So, my fair lady, I suppose we bid you adieu.
But we know what you want. You know what we want. And if we were to return with Gabriella, then perhaps it would be possible that you would bring our friend back to life.
I fear by that time it would be too late.
Indeed, but just
It
to
would
part
be.
on a productive note here, since negotiations seem to have otherwise failed.
She's just as hard-headed as Gabriella.
Oh,
You can see like her start to singe and then smile for a second.
Yeah. Keep going. Keep it up, Xander. Keep up that shit. Keep that shit
know.
fucking rolling.
I know a way for Namina to raise from the dead. It's less than 20 minutes from here. You go talk amongst yourselves and come back with something incredibly valuable or ready to sign a blank check.
Ooh.
Either way, I want Gabriella.
What about a promise to deliver Gabriella, since we are in a bit of a time problem? Being able to.
Sounds like your problem and not mine.
So you're saying that you want something of great value and Gabriella?
Or a blank check.
And the promise of Gabriella is all I want. I mean, you don't have to actually return her.
So, we either give you something of great value, a promise of Gabriella, or a blank check. One of the three.
Oh no.
No, the promise of
Gabriella,
Gabriella's
come.
not enough.
Shotu Tatu, you are insightful. Well,
We've been negotiating for a minute here. I think I see where we stand. Unfortunately, at an impasse.
Indeed.
go on then.
Sure, I'd like to look around. Has Sparkmaster been here with us the whole time?
Yes.
Sure, would just like to pay attention for a moment to Sparkmaster's expression. How's he seem to be doing with all this?
Sparkmaster is upset, but he is not pressing us to enter into another deal with an entity we don't understand.
Fair enough.
So he, as is his MO lately, he's quite torn, but he's okay with walking away.
And as you guys are about to leave, she goes, "Oh, and I forgot to mention, I would give you the seed with the cat as well."
Eesh.
Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting some leverage in here.
So I can promise you that we adventurers treat our word very, very seriously. And it doesn't do you any favors as a negotiator to ask us to do something that we cannot do, which is bring you Gabriella within a week. But we can offer our word that we will bring you Gabriella. If you give us time.
Sparkmaster, what is it that you love?
I can tell you what I loved. But at this point, things I've loved have a habit of disappearing or going away.
That's exactly what happened to me.
Your mother. You blame Gabriella for your mother's death. You blame your baby sister for your mother dying in childbirth.
Xander, have you loved something more than in Gabriella?
Yes.
I can see it written all over you.
And I care for those things that I love. And if something were to happen to one of those things that I love, great anger would befall me. I understand your pain, but that hate has done more to you, more damage to you than would ever be.
Help me, Xander. Help me. I don't want the hate anymore. I'm over it. It's taxed me in my body. I want to be free of it. Help me. Bring me Gabriella. I will show her my remorse.
And you give me your word that you do not plan to harm her.
Plan. I can't say that her seeing me won't harm the fragile heart that she harbors in her chest. So I cannot make that promise. I don't think it is in my power to control it.
Your intent is to cause her harm.
I would be lying to say it wouldn't feel good. But there's only one way to find out. You hate her after all yourself.
I do.
So who is the one you love? Musical?
One.
So was my mother.
And the other one is outside. Hopefully, staying.
Well, I think we must settle this on the next episode of Shore Shack Adventure.
Intense.
And
Thanks for joining. Shout out to our sponsors and see you next time. Woo.
Woo!